Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I hope everyone watching is having a good week so far and that you are staying cool. If you were in the line of all of this crazy heat wave, I am Teri True Crime, and welcome to Midday Missing, where I cover current missing person cases and cases that I think just need more attention. So, for those of you that are new here, currently True Crime and Wine Time Productions produces the podcast True Crime and Wine Time, The Hey Ho Show, The Investigation into the Disappearance of Chase Lackey, Night Court, Midday Missing, Transcripts. And I think that's all right now because we have a couple of new series that we're going to be announcing soon. And I've got to remember not to say them yet. So I almost messed up, but that's okay. We stream live several days a week, so be sure to subscribe to our page so that you do not miss anything. Guys, I'm going to apologize up front that I'm going to get a little irritated today. Okay. So you're all just going to need to give me some grace. Okay. Now, first, I want to tell you about Nicole Baldwin. She is a 41-year-old mother of three. She was last seen on November 2nd, 2023, at her home in Mount Dora, Florida. Guys, her disappearance still remains a mystery. Now, Nicole was last observed by one of her daughters leaving the house under some unusual circumstances. Okay, she departed without taking any of her personal belongings, including her cell phone, Apple Watch, and her purse. And guys, she was dressed in a nightgown and was barefoot. So she left behind, I mean, it's just perplexing to everyone that what has happened to her. She left in that nightgown, she's barefooted, and her family is deeply concerned. Oh, guys, sorry, my nose is running today with all these allergies. Now, guys, the community response to Nicole's disappearance has been heartfelt and persistent. They have done an amazing job of getting the word out there. Now, the Mount Dora Police Department, alongside numerous volunteers, have conducted multiple searches in the surrounding area. But, guys, these extensive efforts have yet to yield any significant leads. But despite the challenges, local residents continue to organize searches and hold vigils to raise awareness and keep Nicole's case in the public eye. And guys, that's what it takes. You've got to keep it out there. Now, during the course of the investigation, police conducted a thorough search of Nicole's home, right? Expected. But it led to an unexpected development. Several items were taken into evidence, including computers. Now, upon examination of these computers by law enforcement, they discovered child pornography, which resulted in the arrest of Nicole's husband, Brett Baldwin, on federal charges. Brett was subsequently indicted on 4 counts of possessing images depicting children under 12 engaged in sexual acts. Now, guys, they have stressed this has nothing to do with Nicole's disappearance, just saying that while going through stuff looking for clues about her, they found this information, they acted on it. And they did say that the timing this has added a little bit of complexity to this case. So wanted to just put that out there, but also want to let you know it doesn't have anything to do with her disappearance. Now, in a surprising turn of events, about 3 months after Nicole went missing, police conducted a search on the home of one of the community volunteers who had been very active involved in the search efforts. This volunteer, who has been instrumental in organizing searches and raising awareness, she reported that police examined her phone and electronic devices. They were suspecting that she was finding information, possibly that she wasn't sharing, but she maintains that she has done nothing wrong and she is not withholding any information. Okay. But I couldn't find anything where the police disclosed why they did this search, which makes me a little suspicious. And it definitely adds some uncertainty to this, right? But what I can see, she is still out there trying to find Nicole. Now, as the months have passed, the nature of this investigation took a very serious turn. In April of this year, the police announced they were reclassifying Nicole's disappearance as a homicide. However, they have not revealed the specific evidence or reason behind this shift from a missing person case to a homicide investigation. Just went missing in 2003. It's kind of quick. While this is alarming to me, but I also have to say it brings hope that more resources and attention will be dedicated to finding answers, because as we've learned since we've started, Midday Missing, police a lot of times don't do a lot with missing person cases, especially of an adult. And by reclassifying it as a homicide, it means they're going to look at it in a lot different way. Also makes me think that they have some information and evidence that they're not sharing with us. They did tell the family before they made this change, so I'm hoping they shared that with them. But it's also important to note that cases like this are often unpredictable, okay? In similar situations, as we just heard about last week, individuals believed to be deceased have later been found alive. Okay. So, unless they know something specific that they're not sharing, there is still that possibility. Now, Nicole's daughters, who are desperately missing their mother, they are still clinging to hope that she will be found alive, and they are pleading for her safe return. Police have said they do not believe Nicole left voluntarily, and they say foul play is involved. Okay. Sorry guys, as I have said before, maybe she went outside on her own, but it's a crazy world. Something could have happened. Someone could have taken her from there. So, a $10,000 reward is being offered for any information that leads to the resolution of this case. So, if you have any information regarding Nicole Baldwin, please contact Crime Line at 800 423 8477. And remember, your tip could be the key that brings Nicole home and provides closure to her grieving family. Now, you can also stay up to date by following the Help Find Nicole Baldwin Facebook page, as well as sharing the missing person flyers from our podcast page or from Teri True Crime Facebook page. Guys, allergies are horrible here, and I took some decongestants, and I'm having to drink a lot of water because I'm feeling a little dehydrated. Now, guys, heads up. This next case has my head spinning, and not in a good way. Okay. If you follow the podcast True Crime and Wine Time, or if you've seen or listened to the special investigation into the disappearance of Chase Lackey, then you've heard me talk about how Harris County Sheriff's Office totally effed up on his case. They never treated his apartment as a crime scene. And let's be honest, they've never really worked this case. Well, this next case is also a case in Harris County. And in my opinion, they effed up even more. Okay. I also want to call out the Houston media and news channels. I only found one news report done by Fox 26, and that was the day after this person was reported missing. That's it. Harris County Sheriff's Office posted it one time that I found, and that's just not cool. Now, this case is in Channelview, Texas. It's right next to North Shore, where I grew up. And I got to thinking when I was writing this, I've always wondered why North Shore was called Houston, but Channelview right down the road was Channelview instead of Houston. Oh, well. So I spent a lot of hours between North Shore and Channelview. Okay. I even went to church there. My mom went to church there. So my very first boyfriend was from Channelview. So guess I'm saying I know the area well, or I did know that area well. I also grew up thinking that if anything went wrong, that Harris County Sheriff's Department would be Johnny on the spot and help. I always felt safe because Harris County was known to do their job. I was either a naive kid or things have changed. Okay. Now, not all of the Harris County Sheriff's deputies are bad. I have a couple that are friends and they do their jobs. They're not a missing persons, but they do their jobs. The problem is the higher ups and the lack of focus on missing person cases, especially cases when it's not a young child or a white female who's attractive and pure. I mean, let's be honest. If you're a white female that has an imperfect life, bets are that you're not going to get much help. Same if you're a male. Okay. Now, I will say maybe if you're connected or have a lot of money, I bet you could get help no matter what you look like or the life you lead. And when I say an imperfect life, I am talking about maybe you've had a criminal past before. Maybe you have a DWI. Maybe you smoked pot. Maybe you were a topless dancer. Maybe you were a sex worker. You're going to not get the same attention. And guys, that is wrong. Okay. Michael James Calvert went missing from Channelview, Texas. Like I said, it's part of the Houston Metroplex on January 21st, 2016. Michael was 29 years old at the time of his disappearance. He was last seen on Coolidge Street in Channelview. Now, Michael left behind his vehicle, wallet, and other personal belongings. But guys, he also left behind his young children and his partner. I'm not sure if they were married, common law, but he did leave behind a special someone. Now, Michael has Cameron and Chloe tattooed in the middle of his back and the word Toyota tattooed on his left shoulder. I did see posts where people called him Toyota, so I'm thinking that's kind of a nickname. And he had a scar above his left eyebrow. Guys, that's it. That is all you can find online. That's it. Besides the one report by Fox News 26, there's been zilch done by the media. And I want to publicly shame the Houston news channels. Okay. Michael has small children and he left behind a loving partner. He's also someone's son, a loved one, a friend. He deserves to be found and he deserves for the sheriff's department to look for him. And the media damn well should have reported more on him. The fact that that is all I could find is disgusting. And let me tell you, it's not because of the family. They have a Facebook page. They did a get together for his birthday, continually posting and are not getting any help from Harris County or the news. Guys, that compounds a family's tragedy even more. And I don't understand why anyone would want to hurt a family who is already going through something so terrible. Okay. That is beyond reasoning to me, makes my head spin, and it makes me ashamed to say that I used to think they were one of the premier law enforcement groups. I, like I said, maybe I was naive. I would have said Harris County sheriffs or even better, they're the Rangers. Tells you I was wrong. Okay. Now, I don't know why they can say they're understaffed. They can tell me whatever they want to say. But as we've learned with Chase Lackey's case, they do not keep the parents updated. They do not. I am still waiting a call back on a call back from the new detective on the cold case. Still haven't heard anything back. That tells you they're not keeping families informed and they are not helping these families. And that's wrong. So I am giving you all a call to action. Besides just asking for you to share Michael's missing person flyers, I'm going to ask you all to email the Harris County Sheriff, Ed Gonzalez, and let him know that it is not acceptable that he and his officers do not work for all of the citizens in his area. Because if they did, Michael's family would have gotten more assistance from them, and then the media would have reported more on his disappearance. Now, you can email him at Sheriff Gonzalez at sheriff.hctx.net. I will post and tag them after we finish today because maybe, just maybe, if he gets a lot of email, a lot of tags on social media, maybe he will instruct his team to get off their ass and work on Michael's disappearance. His family deserves for him to be found, and they deserve to be treated with respect. And what am I talking about when I say respect? It means you help them. You keep in contact with them. I don't care if it's a quick voicemail once a month. Hey, just want you to know we haven't forgotten about Michael. No new tips, but we haven't forgotten. Okay. How hard is that to do? Tell me, Harris County, how hard is that to do? Tell you this, I am very glad that my granddaughter, who lives in the Houston area, does not live in the Harris County district. Because if something happened to her, I can tell you Sheriff Gonzalez would have me behind bars pretty damn quick because he would not want to mess with me if something happens. So, I also want to ask you to go follow the Missing Michael J. Calvert page on Facebook. It is run by his loved ones. Let's show them that we care and let's get the word out since the news stations and Harris County Sheriff's Department is once again failing one of their citizens. The fact that that is all I can say about a man who went missing is horrible, and they should be ashamed of themselves. Sorry, guys. I skipped a lot of the F words and a lot of the stuff because I have goosebumps. And if I had the time to investigate Michael Calvert's disappearance like we've done with Chase, I would do it in a heartbeat. But as we know, I have a full time job. But with that being said, it doesn't mean I'm still not going to do some snooping around. I'm still not going to ask some of our wonderful volunteers to maybe help. And I also want to tell people if you know something about what happened to Michael Calvert, and you don't want to call Harris County because you think they're not going to do shit, you can call the tip line we have set up for Chase. Just please say that you're calling about Michael so we know. That number's 512 553 9484. I will make sure that tip gets into the hands of somebody who will do something with it. So I want Michael's family to know just because Harris County and the Houston news media has let you down, I personally will make sure we post and can share as much as we can. And we have a great community. I will be asking our Discord group and our Facebook group, which has over 5,000 followers, to get the word out. I grew up in that area, still know a lot of people. Okay. And that number again is 512 553 9484. Okay. Take a drink, and I'm going to try to calm down. Now, today, instead of ending with a happy story, I want to share with you some tools and some things that you can do if you have a loved one who goes missing. I would love to say that there is a handbook, but just like having a baby, there's not a handbook. There's some tips and suggestions, but there is not a definite way to go. And I want to say, we all think it will not happen to us. But as I have learned since I decided to break my rule of never getting involved in a missing person case, I am so thankful and grateful that I got involved in Chase's case. And I am shocked to find out how many people go missing. And we need to think about that. Okay. We know it can happen to anyone. And I will type this up and put this in a document format and share it on our social in case anybody wants it, print it, whatever. Because I know just listening to it, if you're driving or whatever, you can't write it down. The first thing you want to do is contact the police immediately. As soon as you realize your loved one is missing and you verified they're not, with a family member or a friend, contact the police without delay. Do not wait 24 hours. Okay. Even if authorities suggest to you that an adult has the right to go missing or that your teenagers are runaway, stand firm and clearly explain to them why this is not the case. Explain to them how much your loved one keeps in touch by phone, text messages, how your teenager was looking forward to going to a dance. Whatever it is, do not let them just push you aside. Okay. You keep doing it. Now, you're going to want to prepare the essential information to give to them and that you're going to use. You want to have a current photo of the missing person ready with a detailed description. That detailed description needs to include tattoos, scars. You can put piercings. Just remember, if they come out over time, may not, be as noticeable. Their date of birth, the date and time they were last seen, and where. If, for example, Chase's case, he was known to be in his apartment and he texted someone at night. That's the kind of information, but they also got the information of when he was last seen by somebody. Description of the clothes they were last seen wearing, if you have them. Who they were with. Were they with John Doe from ABC and you saw them? You want to give that information. You want to give them their social media account usernames. Also, do not log into their accounts yourself. Do not do that. If you have the passwords, I know how tempting it's going to be. Don't do it because that could prevent the police from using that for leads. And if foul play happens, and it ever goes to court, that information will not be able to be used if a loved one got in there. So just share their screen names, their Facebook, their Instagram, their Twitter, X, whatever it's called, their Snapchat. Share that. Share their vehicle information, what it looks like, and the license plate. If they are a tribal affiliation, because guys, we have a lot of indigenous people who go missing and they do not get the resources. It's even worse than what Harris County does. Okay, guys, all of that is going to be crucial for your missing person report. Now, you don't have to have all of that when you make that report, but just know the more information you give them, the better they can get started. Okay, but don't hold off on the report because you need their license plate number. Go ahead and give them what you have. Okay, then you're going to want to utilize national resources. You're going to want to contact NamUs. They're the National Missing and Unidentified Person System. Okay. When your police department gives you that case number, you're going to give that to NamUs. They will get that posted. Now, if your loved one is a minor, also reach out to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, also known as NCMES. And guys, leverage social media. Believe it or not, social media can be bad. There's a lot of trolls, but you can get the word out. So get it out as quickly as possible. Create a dedicated page for the missing person. Encourage others to share it widely. Go share that page and any information to any Facebook page or Instagram page for your community. Now, you're going to want to organize a search. If you know they were seen walking down the road on Beltway 8, gather family and friends, start searching. Okay. Do not wait for police. Also, go look in locations your loved one frequents. If you know your loved one likes to go walk around this particular lake every day, go check that lake. Look around there. Maybe they went for a walk. Maybe that happened. So check those places. Okay. Also, if they use a location sharing app like Life 360 or the Apple, try to determine their last known location. Hopefully, they've shared it with someone. Now, engage local media. Don't wait for the police to contact the media. You need to take the lead. You need to alert your local news stations immediately. You need to sell them on the person and why this person, it's so important that they be found. They're a mom, they're a son, They love to rescue dogs. Whatever it is about that person, they're looking for that story. So get it to them. And guys, if you don't get a response, keep reaching out until you do. Tag them on Facebook, tag them on Twitter, tag them everywhere. You can find email addresses for the news desk, you can find phone numbers. Somebody put together a group, somebody handle that social media, okay? But expand your reach. Reach out to podcast, social media influencers, and platforms dedicated to missing persons, especially those in your area, okay? Their networks can help amplify the search for your loved ones. Also, you're going to want to create a missing person flyer. Those of you that are in the Houston area, Grizzy Hood News, phenomenal person. She won't put up a missing person flyer unless it has the police report number and the police phone number. Get it out to social media, get it out to your community. Okay. Now, I put together just a quick list of organizations you can reach out to. You can, of course, give it a Google it, and you can find them in your area and national ones. Texas EquiSearch, if you're anywhere in Texas, they are to go. They are the go-to bomb. Tim does an amazing job. The Charlie Project, the Doe Network, Light the Way Missing, the Gabby Potato Foundation, especially if you suspect domestic violence is involved. A lot of resources. And guys, there are many, many more. I will caution you, check to make sure they are legitimate. If you find them on Facebook, go ahead and Google them, make sure. Okay. There's a lot of not great people out there and they take advantage. Now, let's talk about the steps you can personally take to help your loved one find you if you ever go missing. Okay. I know you're thinking, why do I want to do that? But guys, one of the most proactive things you can do is to create an If I Go Missing folder. You're going to want to keep that folder both physically and in a secure place digitally, and ensure your loved one knows where it is or provide them with a copy. Like my case, best friend, husband. Double H has it and best friend. Okay. Here are some things to include in your If I Go Missing folder: a recent photo. Include a recent photo of yourself looking straight ahead, but also with the profile view. Ensure the photo clearly shows, your full head, including your hair and eye color. Tattoo documentation. If you have tattoos, take clear photos of each one and note their exact locations. Label the photos with that information. Okay. Also document any birthmarks, scars, or other unique traits that could help identify you. Height and weight. Include your current height and weight. And ladies, it's important to be honest here because accurate information is crucial. Don't shave off 10, 15 pounds. Okay. Put your real weight. Now, DNA information. If you've done a DNA test with a service like 23andMe or Ancestry.com, include a copy of the DNA report. Okay. If you haven't done that, you can pull several hairs from your scalp, make sure the root is attached, place it in a sealed Ziploc baggie, and put it in that folder. Okay. Social media accounts. You want to list all of your active social media accounts and screen names. Now, if you're comfortable, include your passwords, okay? But tell the loved one who has this, do not use that password. It is only to assist law enforcement if it can help them. Also, include a copy of your driver's license or your state ID. Emergency contacts. Provide a list of emergency contacts with their names and phone numbers. Like, for example, Double H knows who to call in the family, but does he know out of all of my friends who I want him to call if I go missing? You want someone to make the call to them. You don't want them to find out, because I can tell you, my best friend didn't get a call and just found out on social media that I was missing. Whew, Double H would be in trouble. So you need to do that. Also, location sharing. Use an app, like I said, Life 360, or enable location sharing with a trusted loved one. My best friend and my son can follow me wherever I am 24 hours a day, and I don't care. It's in case something happens to me. Could be not that I go missing. Maybe I get in a car wreck one night when I'm driving back down Highway 71 and my car's off on a ditch somewhere. That can help them find me. So it's very important. Your vehicle. Document your vehicle details. Include the license plate number, VIN, and a photo of the vehicle. That photo can be used. Now, this one's going to maybe sound a little weird to y'all. Bank account informations. List your bank account and account numbers. The reason why, that will speed up the time for them to get a warrant, to get the bank to give them information if your cards have been used, if you've been into a bank branch. Okay. So that's important. Now, dating apps. If you use a dating app, list those apps and your screen name. We are seeing more and more people go missing who go and meet somebody that they found on Tinder, Grinder, or Match.com. So you want to do that so that the police know that they use it and they can go and check the activity. And guys, I hope this is a file that is never needed, but having it prepared could be the key for you to be found quickly. Okay. It will help speed it up. So I I just can't stress to you how important that is. You all may be sitting there going, "Oh my God, Teri, you've been doing missing persons only for, a year and a half. You've lost your mind." Guys, it can happen. And especially those in a domestic violence situation, if it happens a lot, you want to have that information put together. Now, I have some good news. Are you excited? So I wake up every morning, and the first thing I do is get a cup of coffee, grab my phone, glasses, go sit outside by the pool. Okay. While I drink my coffee, I read through several news applications, and then I move on to social media. Well, today I'm happy to say that a news article made me smile big, and I stopped right there and didn't finish reading the news because it made me smile. And guys, know the article did not say that pink was going to become the national color. It did not, but it still made me happy. So the Native American advocates work to improve our current alert system. Currently, if you are over 18 and under 65 and you go missing, there is no alert that will go out. There are a few states that have put in some little bitty band-aids here and there, but nothing mainstream. Well, guess what? Thanks to these advocates, the Federal Communications Commission unanimously voted to approve a new alert code. The missing and endangered code will fill in the current gap. Guys, this will allow, if I go missing and they think I am in danger and they think there was foul play, they can now release an alert. Okay. This new code is going to allow states, all states and counties, to quickly alert the community through cell phones, TV, radio, and street signs. Okay. Now, that new code is MEP. Okay. Missing endangered person. Now, I could not find when it will go live. I looked and looked and looked, couldn't find it. I will keep looking. But guys, the article said that more than 188,000 adults went missing in 2023 that did not qualify for an amber alert, a silver alert, or a blue alert. If you don't know what a blue alert is, it's only in some states. That is regarding law enforcement. Okay. So this makes me very happy because currently there's nothing. And I personally believe that by not having this alert, more people remain missing. Okay. I also want to remind you, on your cell phone, Some people turn the alerts off because they go off in a meeting, they're annoying. Guys, if you want to get notified, you have to turn that setting on your phone, okay? So, you can't silence it unless your phone's silenced, but guys, here in Texas, I can tell you driving down the road, I will see silver alert, they put up the license plate number. I look at the license plate number, the make of the car, and I try to look for it while I'm driving. That is critical, and I think I'm not the only person who does that. So, I think it's amazing. I think they did a great job. I think it is going to help with the indigenous population because more indigenous individuals go missing more than any other group. And because they're on tribal land, it gets complicated. This will help them tremendously. So, there is my good news for the day. I will finish reading the rest of the news, but I haven't yet. But I do want to thank you all for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you all again on Monday for our next episode. And I want to remind you all, go send an email, tag Sheriff, Harris County Sheriff's Department. Let's let Mr. Gonzalez know that we are not going to continue to put up with him not serving every member of his area. Okay. I don't care if you're purple, you got green eyes, and a yellow leg. I don't care if you got caught smoking a joint last week. You're still important and you still deserve to be found, and they need to do their job. So you can catch me and JT tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 Central, for our True Crime and Wine Time live stream. Guys, we are covering Southern girl crimes. And let me tell you, it's going to be a wild one because, yes, us people in the South, we can be kind, but we can also bless your heart. And we got some crazy girl stuff. So be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. It is free. Also, set up notifications so you'll get an email letting you know when something's going live or when something's been dropped. Don't forget, you can also join our Facebook page and follow us on all social media channels. And don't forget, you can catch the podcast, True Crime and Wine Time, if you just want to listen. You can catch it anywhere that you get your podcast, or you can listen to it as a playlist on YouTube. So, until next time, everybody, besides just staying safe, prepare your If I Go Missing folder, okay? Because when I have to cover that you went missing, I want to be able to have all of that information and be able to say, see, guys, this is going to help us find them. So please, I'm asking you to do that. Be sure to also share the missing person flyers for Nicole Baldwin and Michael J. Calvert. And watch out for crime and enjoy your wine time, guys. Next time.